do some Soul Asylum in this lesson. So this is Somebody to Shove, one of their big singles. Alright, so what I was just playing is the chorus, and we'll jump back to the beginning and start from the beginning like we usually do. So this song is in standard tuning, and we are starting in the key of E minor. Alright, so during the intro, we have 3 guitar parts that are going. We have 2 rhythm guitars playing different chord voicings, and then a lead guitar. So let's check out one of the rhythm guitars first. We're going to play this. Alright, so we're just playing 2 easy chords. We're doing our E minor chord. Just, your tried and true 6-string type deal. And then the other chord is a D5 power chord. So that's your open 4th string, then 2 and 3. So slowly, the rhythm we have is this. So 1, 2, ready, go. So it's a 2-measure phrase. Slowly again. Alright, so that's the first 2 measures there of the rhythm part, and then we're just going to repeat those 2 measures again. So the other guitar is playing E minor and D5, but the E minor is being played up here. So we get... So the rhythms are exactly the same, just playing different voicings. Alright, so let's check out the lead guitar part. I'll play that for you, then break it down. Alright, so that's it. What we're doing is we're starting with an E5 power chord and arpeggiating that. So this power chord is played 4th string root, so 14, 16, 17. Alright, so what we're doing is we're playing the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string. And then what we're doing is we're taking the 2nd string note down to the 15th fret, which gives us kind of like an E minor 7 sound. So is the first part. Now the next part, what we're doing here is a G chord to basically a G major 7. So the G chord is that 17, 16, 20. And then what we're doing is taking the 20th fret note down to the 19th. So the first little bit of the measure is, and then what we're doing for the last note is playing a D note on the 19th fret of our 3rd string. So this measure again slowly, and the whole intro slowly. And you might have noticed I switched over to my neck pickup. They're playing this with a neck pickup tone. A lot of reverb too on that tone. Alright, so let's move on to check out the verse guitar parts. Alright, so that's what it is, the verse riff. It's a 3+3+2 rhythm, meaning that in each measures, your 8th notes are broken up into groups of 3, 3, and then 2. Alright, so let's talk about these groups. What we're doing on the first group of 3, we're doing all 3 strings on the downstroke, or the first strum, and then we're doing 2 palm mutes of the 2 lowest notes. Alright, we're going to do that again, so... Alright, and then the group of 2 is... We're doing a non-palm muted to a palm muted, so the whole measure slowly. Alright, so we're going to do that measure exactly again, and then we're going to do the same thing with the B5 chord. So this, the C5 to B5 thing repeats throughout the verse. The difference is the last time you're playing the B5, the last measure is like that. So you're doing a build up with no palm mutes on the last 4 8th notes. All right. The other guitar that was playing up here for the intro. It sounds to me, I could be wrong, and it might just be the tone of the guitar, or the amp, whatever, but it sounds like it's being played. You know, just on the 6th string instead of using the 5th string root chords. I guess the reason why you might do that is it's easier to get to from the intro riff, and having slightly different tones between 2 guitar parts can kind of thicken up the sound. So, I don't know, do what you want to do, you know, play it there or play both parts down here, whatever. Alright, so let's check out the chorus part. Here is the chorus riff. Alright, so that's it. It's a 4-bar phrase that's going to repeat 3 times, and then we have sort of like a different ending. So the chords that we're using for this particular guitar part, and this is coming from the guitar that was playing down here for the verse, we're doing a G5 power chord. So that's 3, muted, open, open. And the chord changes are anticipated, or meaning you're changing on the last 8th note of the measure instead of on the downbeat. So we're coming to an A5 for the next measure. Alright, the next chord is a G with a B in the bass, so G/B. So that's on the 5th string, 2, then 0, 0. And then we're going up to a C5, same one we had for the verse. And then you start over. So all this slowly. 1, 2, ready, go. And then there you're repeating. Alright, so the last measure, instead of like anticipating the G as if we're going to go and repeat the progression again, we just have just the C5 there at the end. And you're back into the verse part. Alright, so let's check out what the other rhythm guitar part is doing during the chorus. The lead guitar is not doing anything, so it's just playing during the intro, outro, and solo. So, alright. Alright, so that's it at tempo there. Let's talk about these chord voicings that are being used. And I'm just going to tell you the strings that are being played in each chord. So the first chord is a G5. We're playing the 6th string, F3, then we have open 3rd string, and then 3 and 3 on the high 2 strings. Alright, so what's happening throughout the chorus is we're just keeping these high 2 notes as well as the open 3rd string and changing the bass note of each chord. So the next chord, we're changing up to an A, so we'd have a G5 with an A in the bass. The next chord, changing that bass note gives us a G/B chord. And the next chord, you could call a C sus2 or a C5 add 9. So the arpeggio pattern that you're doing here, I'll just call it the string numbers. We have 6, 3, 1, and then 2, 3, and then we're changing to the 5th string for the next bass note. So real slowly. Alright, so that's 4 measures, and that just repeats. So there's not really like a different ending like there was to the other guitar part during this. Alright, let's move on and check out what's next. What's next is a verse, and the second verse is exactly the same as the first verse. Then we're going to have a second chorus, and our second chorus is just half as long as the first chorus. So essentially what you're doing in the second chorus is you're chopping off the first half and doing like the last 8 bars. And that, that's going to transition into our bridge section. So let's check out all of our guitar parts for the bridge. Both of the rhythm guitars are doing the same thing during the bridge. We have this. So that's the riff. And it's a 2-bar thing, so we have our C5, B5, A5. Slowly, 1, 2, ready, go. So that's it. The end of it is a little bit different, so let's check out how it ends. Here's the ending. 1, 2, ready, go. Alright, so essentially we're hanging on to the C5 for the last two measures instead of doing the. So the rhythm slowly here. 1, 2, ready, go. Alright, let's get after the solo section. For the solo, I'll play the rhythm guitars for you first, and I'm going to start with the guitar that played this E minor for the intro. So we have this. Alright, so the riff that we're playing is exactly the same as what we played for the intro, and then we just have two measures at the end of B minor where we're doing eighth notes with downstrokes. Okay, so now let's check out the other guitar part that's happening, the rhythm guitar part. 1, 2, ready, go. Alright, so pretty much the exact same thing, just with the different chord voicings. You know, it's the same as the intro, and then the B5 is played here. Okay, so let's check out the solo now. Okay, now I'll do it slowly. Pretty much what you're playing here is just stuff out of your E minor scale. There is one note from the E major scale, a G sharp at your 6th fret in the first measure. Otherwise, just E minor stuff. Alright, so let's do this slow. 1, 2, ready, go. So the only thing left really to talk about is what the lead guitar is playing over the third verse. It's just kind of keeping some ideas going. So it ended with the type slide up to the 12th fret there, and then we're going to have this lick like. So that's just 5, 7, and 4 on your 4th string, and then you have this 3, 4. So now you're into the third chorus. So a few things to talk about there. Our third chorus is exactly the same as the first chorus, so it's twice as long as the second one, and it does have the different first half from the second half. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go to the bridge, and the bridge is a little bit longer here, and then that's going to lead into our outro. So let's talk about that. For the outro, we're going to have the progression from the intro that we had. So that's a 2-bar thing, and that's going to happen 3 times. And then what we're going to do is this. Alright, so that's a rhythm that we're going to play with our C5 chord. So slowly, 1, 2, ready, go. Alright, and then we're just going to end with a big G5 on both of the guitar parts there. So the other guitar is playing the E minor up high, and then the C5 there, and ends with the same G5, and then the lead is doing the same thing as it did at the beginning of the song. Alright, so that is everything for Somebody to Shove. If you'd like my transcription of this one, please email me. My email is in the description, and please subscribe to my channel. Alright, thanks a lot, guys.